hello YouTube, hiking YouTube. I just got back from the Everest Base Camp Trek. My name is Pony, and I wanted to tell you things that I learned. So if you're going on the trek, information you might find helpful. Okay, so number one, stairs. I watched every video I could find about the trek before I left. Nobody mentioned stairs. I don't know if they just thought it was so obvious. I did not find it obvious. As someone who hikes mountains pretty often, I'm used to trails, switchbacks, a handful of stairs here and there. Oh, no. Be ready for hundreds of stairs. The second day going up to Namche Bazaar, it's like 2 hours worth of them just whole way up. Stone, they're all different sizes. So yeah, if you are training, like if you're used to like tons of stairs, good for you, you'll be all right. But if you're training for this, like literally put on your pack, put weight in it, and get on that Stairmaster, because I'm telling you, so you were not surprised the way I was, there are hundreds, if not thousands of stairs. Okay, Diamox. I agonized over whether or not to take Diamox because I don't like to take pills if I don't really have to. I don't take medicine casually. So the doctor who gave me the Diamox told me I should start taking it in Kathmandu, and I didn't start it till Namche. If I were doing the trip again, or if I was going, back in time, I would start it in Kathmandu. I actually never at any point before or after Diamox, I never had any symptoms of altitude sickness. I really was very lucky. I was good. But I do think it helps you breathe better when there's less oxygen. And like, even if you feel fine like me and didn't have altitude sickness, like I would get winded more easily than I would have, I think, if we were not where we were. So I just think it helped with breathing better. So yeah, and the only side effect I had was my hands or lips would tingle sometimes, and it would last like 10 seconds, and it was no big deal. So yeah, if I'm not telling anybody what to do with their body, but if I were going again, I would start Diamox early. Okay, so learn from my mistake. Eat. I am a very active person at home, but I am also like, I don't like to eat early in the day. I usually skip breakfast. I work out in an empty stomach all the time. I thought I could get away with that there. No, the Himalayas are a different story. And I learned very quickly that without enough food, I had no energy. So by like the third day, I was, okay, I can't, do my old habits anymore. So we had it scheduled that we would eat like 4 times a day. I had lots of like toast and pancakes and fried noodles and fried rice and like lots of carbs, honestly. But after I started eating every time we were supposed to, then I was good. So I'm just saying, if you're like me and you're like sort of accidentally intermittent fasting, like I would say you probably shouldn't do that in the mountains, as you need your energy. Eat. Okay, one more tip before we get to gear. Obviously, you should sleep with your electronics and anything like batteries in your sleeping bag so that they don't freeze, because yes, it's gonna be cold. We definitely had several days that were below freezing. I would also put the clothes that I was wearing the next day in my sleeping bag so that when I woke up, I could just like unzip a little bit, just enough to sit up, and I would change in my sleeping bag so that you don't have to like stand up and freeze while you're trying to change. Just saying. Okay, so let's talk gear. So can you be comfortable in a place that is like below freezing with a sleeping bag that did not cost you $1,000? Yes, you can. This is what I use, the Mountain Hardwear Bishop Pass. It is rated for -18 Celsius or 0 Fahrenheit. I used that. I was comfortable. I can actually turn in it. I'm a pretty small person, but I can turn in it. I was very comfortable. It is mummy style, but highly recommend. And to give it a little extra oomph, I was also using this liner. This is Sea to Summit Thermalite fabric, Reactor Extreme in the regular size. I used this of the 12 nights we were in the mountains. I used this 10. Now, mind you, it was very cold. Our guide said it was unseasonably cold, and I am a person who like gets cold easily and is miserable being cold. But even with these two, again, it was below freezing and I was very comfortable. And so yeah, and that I would say those two combined, I think it was 500 or maybe even a little less. So you can be comfortable at night below freezing without spending $1,000 on a sleeping bag. Okay, so the Traverse 32, this was my pack. This is REI brand. I found this more than enough and very comfortable. So highly recommend, plenty of space. And then shoes. Yes, I did not wear boots. I don't like hiking boots. It's just a personal thing. I just don't. I did the whole thing in trail runners. So I used these Hoka waterproof trail runners. They say Vibram on the bottom. I don't know, maybe that's the kind they are. But yeah, I got 0 blisters, very comfortable. Crossed water. Again, they're waterproof. I was good. Highly recommend. Lighter than a boot. And also, I don't like boots. So if you're not a boot person, don't think you have to get them for the trek, because you don't. I did bring this Nightcore energy brick. It says NB 20,000 on it. I paid to charge this once, and it didn't honestly need it. I was just being careful to charge while we still could, because I wasn't sure if we would be able to do that the whole way up, or I also didn't want to pay that much for it. So I think I paid like $3 to charge this. But yeah, and I was charging my phone every day, and it was great. Also very glad I had my headlamp. Headlamp is absolutely essential. Some of the tea houses, their power is solar, and it is a little unreliable. So definitely was in my room using that headlamp sometimes. If you want a full list of all the gear I brought, I can make that video, but those are just things that I'm like super happy I had. So just saying, just for anybody out there, if you aren't sure, I recommend all of those things. I did not bring a water filter or a Sterapen or anything. I just brought aqua tabs. You can get like 100 aqua tabs for like $15 on their website. For the ones I got, you put in one, you wait 30 minutes, and I used those the entire time, except when we were in Gorik-Shep. In Gorik-Shep, our guide told us bottled water only. But yeah, so I totally recommend, because I feel like it's not going to be like practical, honestly, to like be pumping water, because you can only do that when you are stopped, and most of the day you're going. So just my opinion, aqua tabs were great. So somebody, and I think it was actually more than one person, had recommended bringing clothes for the tea houses. Like, you're done hiking for the day, now you're hanging out, so like change of clothes. I brought one outfit, and unfortunately I actually brought shoes, because they recommended it, and no. If your hiking shoes are comfortable, like, okay, if you hate your boots and you want to take them off, fine. But the Hokas, I was super comfortable. I never used the shoes I brought, and I never wore that outfit. I would just stay in my hiking clothes, and it was fine. So to me, that was just a waste of weight in my pack. The other thing, because I am an artist, I was like, oh, maybe I'll paint there. And I brought actually a very tiny travel painting kit, and I never used that, because during downtime, and there wasn't necessarily a ton of downtime, I was hanging out with my group, I was sleeping, I was, checking out the places that we were staying. So I would say don't plan on having too much downtime. I did bring one book, and I did read from it sometimes, but honestly, if I didn't have it, I would not have been like sitting there wondering what to do. One of my favorite things that I would recommend bringing for like entertainment is headphones, because I did listen to music sometimes in my room, and honestly, that really, for me as someone who loves to listen to music, was like very good for decompressing. Oh, one more thing. If you do happen to forget a piece of gear, I would not stress too much about it, because if you're staying in Kathmandu, oh my God, they are ready for trekkers. Like, you can really, any piece of gear you don't have, you can totally get there, and it will probably be cheaper than if you're like me coming from the US. I just wanted to show up ready, because I wanted to test everything before I came, but I'm just saying, if you do forget something, don't stress too hard, because you can totally get it in Kathmandu. So I hope you find that helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. And if you are thinking of checking out the EBC Trek, you absolutely should. I highly recommend. I was challenged. I did find it hard, but my whole group, we all made it. And it's a once in a lifetime experience. Absolutely incredible, absolutely amazing. So thanks for watching.